Good morning. Heard any good controversies lately? Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Dads. I'm Joey. I think after last week's video, which was crazy in the comments and the reactions, thank you everyone who commented on that. Holy smoke. I had no idea there was so many people feeling the same way I did. But I think after last week's video, what I'm going to do today is Tim and I are going to show you, now keep in mind Tim's calories are a little different, but Tim and I are going to show you what meals look like in the 1200 calorie range. Now, I'm out getting my walk, right, which I do every morning. I get 2 miles in, and then every night I get 2 miles in. So between that and standing up all day at work, I have a standing desk at work when I teach, so I'm constantly burning calories. I really do burn like 800 to 1,000 calories a day as compared to what my watch says, right? So that's what I'm doing. And so I really don't need to limit myself to 1,200 calories. That's if I'm not doing anything. I'm just hanging around the house all day and, doing nothing. So really, I can eat more than that every day. But I'm going to show you what we do, or what 1,200 calories looks like. We've already planned all our meals out, which is something we do every day anyway. Just like I plan the week, all my meals on the weekend are planned out also. I don't always make them ahead of time, but I've written them down. We used to do this at Weight Watchers. We called it pre-tracking. I've already tracked what I'm gonna eat in calories for it's a holiday weekend, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all I have to do is make it when the time comes. All right, I'm gonna do this walk thing, and then I'm gonna get cleaned up, and then I'll meet you in the kitchen. Let's get started. Yeah, baby. All right, we're back in the kitchen. Good morning. Tim's with me. All right, so I think today what are we making for the breakfast?
I'm starving for a tofu scramble.
So a tofu scramble, it's one of the things Lex loves too. So I think, but he's not going to eat it with all the veggies we're going to put in, right?
Yeah, because we are going for fiber and
what we're trying to do here is we're going to try and cook 3 meals for you today that are 400 calories each, right? For 1,200 calories. Now, you saw this morning, I just walked. I'm going to walk today. Like, I could eat more calories than that, and I probably will, depending on how much exercise I get, right? Because I do get a lot of exercise, a lot of cardio during the day, right? So that, like yesterday, I burned over 1,000 calories. So that's 1,000 more calories I could have. But just because I know my number's around 13 something, right? Then I'm going to show you what 1,200 calories looks like. So we're going to take this tofu, and believe it or not, a brick of tofu does not have that many calories. We're going to make all this, and we're going to give you the calories for everything we put in at the end. I'll break it all down, and you'll see what does 400 calories look like for a meal, right?
I was surprised by that when I started doing the numbers for...
We had to put so much stuff in it to get it to 400 calories, right?
Yep.
All right, so let's get started with that. We're going to cut up some stuff here. I think I probably need to get the tofu draining, right?
Yep, let's do that
So first. I'm going to do that, and Tim's going to grab some vegetables. Here's what we're going to be putting in here. This is what the base will be, and then we'll cut it and get Lex's part out. We'll cut it into thirds, right? For everyone, we're going to have the brick of tofu, a medium onion, an onion, some nooch, and some
turmeric,
spices,
paprika.
the turmeric, paprika, the sea salt, a little bit of black salt, a little almond milk. So we're going to do that, and then we'll split it up and take Lex's out, and then we'll add our veggies, which are going to be...
Yep, a quick edit. So it's not going to be almond milk. We're going to use...
we're using oat milk.
Yeah, just a 1 gram of fat.
Yeah.
So it's much safer that way.
And it's only got 3 ingredients, right?
Really, to get to 400 calories on this, if you were using almond milk, use what you got.
Yeah, use what you got. So, but we're going to add broccoli and peas and tomatoes and corn to it for us, right?
Yeah.
And
we're going to skip the mushrooms.
I can't stand mushrooms. All right, let's get started on that. You can start cutting, and I'm going to get the tofu out.
All right.
All right, so for the tofu, we're just using firm refrigerated tofu. Where do we get this from?
Costco, it's bulk. Yeah. So
Costco had like 4 of these,
organic.
right? Yeah, it was a good deal, so we grabbed them. So we don't need to use the shelf-stable tofu because we are cooking this, and when you're cooking it, it gets rid of that raw flavor, right? All right, so I'm using this.
Great.
And you can see here, Tim's ready to start cutting veggies. And cutting doesn't even start until you've got just the right doll store knife. We're using our mini Santoku knife right here. And then we've got our little paring knife Both absolutely wonderful tools for the kitchen, and you can find a link right below this video where you can order your own dull stirring knives. All right, so here's what I do with tofu. I guess I could buy a tofu press, but I don't see the point. I lay it on the towel, and then I fold my towel so it's kind of like, I don't know, like a collar. And then I lay it on here, and I'm going to lay something heavy on here that'll just squeeze this out.
Like a plate or something?
All right, so I'm going to lay my cast iron pot on top of here, some Le Creuset. I'm sure they would be horrified if they knew they were a tofu press. And that's what we're doing to kind of just get the tofu out. We'll keep flipping it all the way down this towel. Like I'll flip it here and I'll flip it here.
Like after 5 minutes?
Yeah, after like 5 minutes, just to kind of keep getting the water out to drain it.
Okay.
Okay, so we've kind of figured out how much vegetables we need, right? We've kind of done the math already. So while that's draining, we're going to start cutting our veggies up. We know we need 1 onion, right? Counting calories may not be fun in the beginning, but eventually you know exactly how much food you're getting, right? Because you kind of make the same thing all the time. So, all right, so you're going to cut this up, and I'm going to grab the other vegetables. So we've cut the onions. Tim cut them up nice and diced, and it's 473 grams. So that's what I'm going to put down. So let's chop up the rest of the veggies, I guess, right? Some of them are frozen, so we're just going to throw them in, the corn and the peas. But we got to chop up the tomatoes and the broccoli, right? All right, let me grab the broccoli because that's frozen, so it needs to kind of have some time, right? All right. In the meantime, here's the tomatoes right here.
Okay.
The broccoli is the frozen broccoli from Costco. I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna fully cook it. I'm just gonna cook it enough to get it a little soft so we can cut it into pieces. So that's all.
Yeah, and the pieces just make it more manageable to eat, right? Because the scramble with so many other things that it just needs to be in proportion with everything else. So we haven't gone to the grocery store, so we're kind of using everything that we have in-house. But it was interesting last night just going over the numbers, how very little calories tomatoes have. All right, I think I've got peas here, so we're ready to weigh out these.
All right, yeah, so let's weigh out the peas next. Let's get a bowl on here.
Yep.
Now, the peas are a starch, so they're basically 1 calorie per gram. So we want 100 grams. Right there. And then let's do 100 grams of corn. It's interesting, these bowls are not all the same weight, which is very disturbing for me. So
it is interesting. Okay, you know, a lot of times we have fresh corn, it's just one of those, but we haven't been in the store since last Sunday. So anyway, we, in the freezer, have some roasted corn. I thought this would
from Trader Joe's,
flavor for sure.
We've always got that in the freezer, always.
How much do we want?
100 grams. Corn to starch too. All right, let's get the broccoli out of the microwave. Is it soft enough to cut? Yeah. So it's not cooked. I just kind of heated it up, and it shouldn't be too hot to open right now. Go ahead. And broccoli's a non-starchy vegetable, so you have to have a lot of it. We need to get 300 grams of broccoli.
Okay.
Like, I don't even know if that's gonna. We probably need another bag. So let's see what happens here. If you're doing the Mediterranean lifestyle, there's a link up here to April's channel. Her latest video is doing a day of food, I believe, what she eats in a day. A lot of her recipes can be made vegan just by changing the broth or whatever. Some of the stuff she does is really good. The noodle dish she did was absolutely delicious. I can't wait to do that with her. And you know that I have my teaching channel called Sophomore Swag, where I put up all my videos about the classroom. The latest video there is first day of school and everything that happens to me. You know, all the planning I put into the first day, and then the first day gets here and just stuff happens. And you're like, what happened? I was all planned. So check that out for sure.
Yeah. All right, behind me, Joey's prepping the spinach. She's just washing it a little bit. We'll cut that up, but it's so minimal. That's all that we have on hand right now.
Yeah, we have like a handful of spinach. I mean, the calories in that are going to be like 10. Like, it's not even going to matter. So I'm not going to worry about it. But I just want to use this up because the expiration date kind of came and went. So, all right, there you go.
Hey, anytime we can get extra iron in, right?
All right, so something funny kind of just happened to me a little while ago, like 20 minutes ago.
What's that?
The pest control guy comes, right? And, you know, it's Arizona. We have scorpions and all sorts of stuff. So we have to have pest control. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. So he came in, and I went outside to open the garage so he can spray in the garage wearing this shirt. And he says, "Oh, you a vegan bodybuilder?" I was like, "Oh, a vegan? Like, I'm not a bodybuilder."
I think he's ready to hit us with a pay increase. Just kidding.
All right, so 300 grams of broccoli, we're good there. And spinach, let's see what we've got there. Spinach is so low in calories. There's not enough of this to really make a dent in anything.
But let's log it. We can look up nutritional values afterwards when we
All
have
right,
the
so we've
grams
got
anyway.
75 grams of spinach. All right, so everything's cut, all right? So we'll get the hot plate out and we'll start cooking this. All right, we're using this Doll Strong 12-inch saute pan, frying pan. It is a beast. It's got beautiful high sides. It's absolutely amazing. It's that copper 5-ply. So we're gonna throw a little water in. I like to saute the onions first. And I like to get the tomatoes cooked first before I start throwing everything in. So that's what we're going to do here. Yeah, and this recipe and all our other recipes can be found on our website, www.plantbaseddads.net. You can go to the website, bring up the recipe, hit your file print on your browser, and just print the recipe up. You don't have to watch us. You don't take notes during the YouTube video. We do have a video for this right here that shows exactly how we're making this. We're doing the same thing that's in that video. All right, you can already see like the water starting to steam. So we're gonna get the onions right in here, right? And we'll get them sauteing. This pan is nice and big, right? There's a beautiful cooking surface on this because of how large it is. I absolutely love it. So what are you sprouting over there?
Oh, I saw it out this morning. I just put some chia seeds in. I couldn't find the broccoli seeds.
Can you sprout chia seeds?
Well, we're gonna and see if it smells any less pungent for sandwiches, things like that.
I don't notice the smell of the chia seeds, do you?
No, well, we're gonna find out.
Okay.
It's the broccoli seeds that I can't tell if it's gone bad or not.
Oh, right.
You know?
I just eat it.
So we've done it a couple times. We just haven't made a video on it for recommendation, but that's kind of what's in the works.
All right.
This is a set of 3.
I'm trying to cook, but Tim is showing me different pots to put the plants in.
Okay.
Yes.
So we've got some amazing deals on plants.
Should we put them on the screen here?
I finally found a small Hercules that we can maybe grow inside.
Hercules.
So rather than just railroad my way through, I thought I would get buy-in on plants because, you know, a gold stand versus a pop of color.
Yeah, we'll put those on the screen. What do you think? I like the white.
Now I'm giving relationship advice.
Yeah, don't do that.
Be inclusive.
Yeah, so I like the white ones. I like those right there. But I think that the all brass ones or the old gold one. Oh, that little green one is adorable.
One.
So much fun. Yeah. I definitely like.
Do you like this curve on the bottom, or do you like that set of 3?
I like that. I like the whole thing. I just don't like it when it's all brass. And then those 3 pots right there, the colors.
Yeah.
That would look really good in this house.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I think we're ready to throw the tofu in, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So let's get that in. Now the tofu, we just bring it over as a brick, and we're just going to crumble it in. And the tofu has a lot of water in it, so you don't really need to add any more water. So let's break this in half.
Cube it, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, break it in half. And you take this part, and we're just going like this, and we're smashing it in. Not cube, but just kind of smashing it in. It's supposed to look like scrambled eggs, that's all.
So crumbling
yeah,
it.
It's just we're just crumbling it in. That's it. So while we're doing this, shout out to our friend in Oxford, UK, Maria. Maria watches the show, and her son Jack watches with her. And Jack doesn't really want to eat anything that's healthy, just like Lex, right? But Jack, hello, let me just tell you that Lex was like that too, and now he will eat what we eat. He's a swimmer, he competes in sports in high school. In fact, Lex is a senior, and he's a big, strong senior, and he did all of that by eating plant-based foods. And he absolutely loves it. So we understand that kids don't want to eat healthy, but our son Lex is just like you, and you can grow up to be just like him by eating some healthy food, right?
I make his lunches every night for the next day.
So Jack and Maria in Oxford, thanks for watching. We love you guys. All right, I'm re-crumbling what Tim crumbled because I'm so OCD. All right, so while we're doing this, I want to make the tofu to brown a little bit, but let's get the spices ready, all right? Oh, did we show them we didn't show you the light that we bought. Check this out, let us know what you think. That's that light from that other video where we were kind of in Lamps Plus, trying to decide if we want it or not. We absolutely love it. Those bulbs are too yellow. They're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to replace them with regular Edison bulbs, just the clear ones. But I absolutely love the light itself. I think it works great with our mid-century modern style, even though this isn't a mid-century modern home. All right, so we gotta let this brown a little bit, but let's get the spices in. So okay. I need a half a teaspoon of turmeric, and a half a teaspoon of paprika, and then a quarter of a teaspoon of sea salt. We're just using the pink Himalayan salt. And we're gonna need 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast.
2 tablespoons?
Yeah. And then just a sprinkle of black salt. I don't like black salt, but if you put it in while it's cooking, most of it cooks out. The flavor mostly cooks out. All right, so we're just kind of dumping our spices in here. and just a sprinkle of black salt. I don't want to put too much in. That's a lot. All right, I think that's good. And let's kind of get this in, and this will change the color of the tofu. It'll make it more like an eggy color. Not that we're trying to duplicate eggs, we're not. But if, you know, that's kind of how you can tell if it's correct or not. All right, let's put the 1/4 cup of oat milk in. And that's kind of the end of it for the base part of it. We're gonna add veggies, but not yet because Lex won't eat it if there's veggies in it. And we're gonna cut it into thirds, and a third's going to Lex. All right, so Lex has a third of this, so he's done. Now we can put the rest of our stuff in here. Next, I'm gonna throw in the rest of the veggies. So I've got the, and I did turn it off here, but I've got the tomatoes, the spinach are going on, and I've got the broccoli, because those things actually have to cook, right? And if you're following me, you know that the food density chart, you want to get as much non-starch filler as possible with your starches. And that's going to be how I'm doing my my 400 calories per meal. Like, there's a lot of food here for the two of us.
We're not going to be starving.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to eat all this, but this whole pot is going to be, even when we add the other stuff, this whole pot is going to be 800 calories, right? Do you know why the non-starchy vegetables have so much less calories in them?
Because of the water weight?
That's exactly right? I thought I had you on this one. Yes, non-starchy vegetables have so much water in them that their calories are much lower. All right, so we've chopped up some spinach. We're just going to add that in. I just want the spinach to wilt, and then this is ready to go. I'm going to turn down the heat. I don't even need it to cook anymore. I just want the spinach to get wilty. Look at this. Holy smoke. I can't wait to eat this. Let's dig in. So this whole thing, right, Tim and I are splitting. So we're going to eat it all in one shot, and that is a lot of food. That's a lot of food for 400 calories. But when you're looking at calorie density, this is the way to do it.
I may need to add some like chili to this.
I mean, this is kind of ridiculous right here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of food here.
I have a ketchup with no sugar. So.
You know what we should have put in here? The ketchup spice.
Oh, sprinkle?
Yeah. All right, take this. There he goes. All right. You can't even see how big these plates of food are. All right, you come in a what is all that stuff?
I thought I would just come for options because if, again, you're cooking on a Saturday morning for the rest of your family.
Well, hang on a second. First, get a load of how much food is on this plate. This is 400 calories each. Look how tall that plate is of food. Like, there's no way I'm going to eat all this stuff, right? But this is one meal of 400 calories, one of my 3 meals, loaded with non-starchy vegetables and starch.
Yeah, you were out walking this morning. You've got an appetite.
Holy
this will work just fine.
Right, so what do you have here?
Well, I just wanted, maybe for you to get through this plate, you need something else. There is ketchup that's organic, unsweetened.
Yep.
You can make your own ketchup. Some people like barbecue sauce. And then there's a couple different variations of Tabasco. This is like a sweet and spicy. This is the green pepper. And there's also ketchup sprinkles as an option.
So this is his favorite spice. It's a Trader Joe's ketchup flavored sprinkle. Whatever you sprinkle it on, it tastes like ketchup.
Anyway, just as an option, because this is a lot of food, but I'm going to go without anything right now.
All right, we'll taste it first and see how it tastes. All right, let's give this a shot. Let's dig in. Oh, man. Wow.
Yep. Putting in those the extra spices for the extra vegetables, it turned out nicely. So we did this at 400 calories. If you wanted to easily up that a little bit because you have more requirements, you could add potatoes in this. We didn't need that, but
it's already a huge plate of food.
Yeah.
Like a huge plate of food. So I didn't know that I could eat this much food. So it's so much better with the potato, with the spice on it.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the calorie breakdown right here. We wound up with 400 grams of onions for 160 calories, a block of tofu for 350, 2 tablespoons of nooch for 50 calories, and a half a cup of milk for 20 calories because we used the oat milk. That was 586 calories right there. We divided that by 3, which came to 195 each, and then we split Lex's off, and then Tim and I had our 195 each, right? And which is about 200 each. I just rounded, and then we added 100 grams of peas for 50 calories each. We added a 300 grams of broccoli for 50 calories each. We added 100 grams of corn for 50 calories each, and we added 200 grams of tomatoes for 50 calories each. That brought us each to 395 calories. We're not even at 400 calories, we're just under it.
Okay.
So, there you are, 400 calorie breakfast.
Sounds like there's a little wiggle room for us to have an apple with this then.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. I'm gonna do that.
That's our breakfast?
Yeah.
Well, we've got a whole day of stuff to do, working around the house, so we'll take you along with us, and we'll see you at lunch. All right, I'm gonna get lunch started. So I'm gonna have some baked potato or potatoes in the air fryer, which I've already cooked. They're left over from the week, but I'm gonna make some Brussels sprouts to go with it. So here's what I'm gonna do. I've got a little bit of maple syrup. I'm gonna put in, I don't know, let me see. All right. I think I'm gonna put in a tablespoon of maple syrup in a bowl here, and then maybe 2 tablespoons of soy sauce or tamari, whatever you have. Hopefully we got more tamari somewhere for later on. And then a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. And that's gonna be my sauce for these Brussels sprouts. So I just got a bag of Brussels sprouts here that I got from Costco and just cleaned up. So in they go. And I'm just going to kind of mix them up to get the coating all over them, that's all. And I'm just going to turn the air fryer on to 400. Throw them in there and let them cook for, I don't know, 4 to 5 minutes. Shake them up, 4 to 5 minutes, shake them up, 45 minutes, until they're all done. Like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 times, so 16 minutes, 12 or 16 minutes all together. And that's what I'm going to do with these. So I've lined my pan with parchment paper, and then I put the rack on it. And I'm just going to put these on here. And I'll just kind of spread them out into a single layer if possible. And these go everywhere, holy smoke. Alright. Alright, let's get them in the air fryer. Alright, so the Brussels sprouts are done. They look really good. You can kind of see right here. This is my Brussels sprouts that I'm going to put on my plate right here. This is Tim's plate. We're just heating the potatoes up. They were cooked earlier. Actually, Tim's just came out of the oven, but mine are leftovers, so I'm just heating them up in the microwave. Potatoes are kind of ready. I'm just going to kind of chop them up over here, just to kind of get them into pieces. And Tim's going to heat his up. Oh, the potato fall out.
You lost one.
Oops. About that. And then I'll go over how much potatoes I have. That's a lot of potatoes. All right. There I go right there. All right, so Tim's gonna throw a little cashew cheese sauce on his. I throw a little salt on my potatoes. That's how I eat them. And then I need a little pepper. So the cashew cheese sauce is about 50 calories.
Yeah, and I put about 2 tablespoons on there. I have a few more calories than Joey to get, and the weight of these potatoes is a little bit less. So
yeah, we didn't have enough potatoes cooked to give him 300 calories in potatoes. All right, so here's what we've done, right?
Yeah, but by the time you peel the sweet potatoes, then some of that weight goes away. So
take a look at this right here. What we have is each plate is 400 calories. We each have about 300 calories of potatoes. Potatoes are, it's 8/10 of a calorie. So 1 gram is 8/10 of a calorie. So for 100 grams, it's 80 calories. So you need to have 380 grams of potatoes to get 300 calories. So this is 300 calories of potatoes. And then I've got the non-starchy vegetables, the Brussels sprouts. It's just under 50 grams. It's just under a half of a calorie for 1 gram.
Okay.
So we've got 200 grams of Brussels sprouts, which give us 100 calories. So 2 400-calorie plates. Look at all that food. That, like, again,
I'm like, look at all this fiber.
Yeah, I'm just sweating to put away the rest of that lunch that breakfast that we had. I was sweating to put it away. The same thing's going to happen here, right? And this is a lot of food.
Yeah, let me get you a fork here.
All right, let's dig in. Oh, the Brussels sprouts are delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is a purple sweet potato that we had this last week.
They're delicious. Holy smoke. And this is exactly why when I was trying to figure out what my BMR was, that I didn't use potatoes. Because I would have been like, oh, there's 3 more we could use in this place. I'm going to eat those also, right? All right. So our lunch here is potatoes and a nonosachi veg, 400 calorie plate, a lot of food. This is filling. And we still have dinner tonight to do. I don't know, you may not be here, so I'll wait till you get back. It'll be really late.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I'll wait till you get back.
Yeah, it's not too starchy, but it should be great.
I'm going to show you a bonus surprise recipe too.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
That I'll show you that. That's something I have to make over time, but it isn't for us.
Yeah, and after eating this, I have some tea that's brewing.
I don't know
It's a
what's
nice
coming.
time to have some tea.
I don't know what's coming. All right. Are we going to go off on a sea creature tea or something?
No, I'm not doing anything crazy.
What was that? The moss, the sea moss?
Yeah.
I said no sea moss. All right. That's our lunch, and you're going to go to work. I'm going to have a surprise recipe, and then we'll both see you at dinner, right? All right. I'm going to give you a little surprise recipe here today. The hummingbird feeder is empty. And I don't know if you know this, but you can make your own hummingbird food. It's really simple. It's just sugar and water. Now, I read somewhere like years ago, I don't know how true this is. Leave a comment below in the comments and let me know if you do this. It has to be regular sugar, not organic sugar, just regular white sugar. So we have this in the house, but we never use it for ourselves. But for the hummingbirds, we do. So Tim left his pagers here, and they're going off, which is driving me crazy. Tim got paged, and he had to go back to the hospital. I don't want to get into what Tim does, but if Tim has to get involved in your case, you're not in a good place. So he's gone. So the recipe here is 1 part sugar and 4 parts water, hot water, because you got to make a solution. So I've got my tea kettle where I just steamed the hot water. I just, tea kettle the hot water. I don't make tea, so I don't know what it's called. And I'm going to take, there's something in here. I'm going to take a 1/2 cup of sugar. And I'm going to put a 1/2 cup of sugar in this mixing bowl right here. Then I'm going to take 4 1/2 cups, so 2 cups of boiling hot water, and stick it in there, and I'm going to whisk it together. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So that's my mixture right there. I'm just going to whisk this until it's all combined and I have just a sugar solution. All right, let's see if I can just whisk in the ice here. Of course, now it adds a bunch more water, so it's kind of diluted. I should probably do 3 1/2 cups, so 1 1/2 cups, and then a 1/2 cup of ice. So with the hummingbird feeder, I like to change the water every few days, especially in the summer, because it's just out there in the heat and I don't want it to get moldy. And then I don't want it to get empty. Like, once it gets down to a quarter of what's left, I change it, because I don't want it, we're fooling them into thinking this is a flower or something that they're going to get, to get their nectar from. And I don't want it to be empty where they're like, what's going on? I'm in the flower, there's nothing here, right? So I don't want to confuse them. All right, here's my hummingbird feeder. It's glass, right? I like the glass ones. And even though there's a pour spout on this, I'm going to use a funnel anyway, all right? And I'm just going to get as much of this in here as I can. All right. And this hummingbird's feed is nice because it's got a little thing down here to hold the water. So I can kind of just put it like this. And that's it, right? Now I can flip it on its right side when I get outside and hang it up with a little clip, and it's ready to go. I do it now, which is what I really want to do, but I don't want to get it all over the place. So this is ready to go. I'm just going to put it over here by the door. The hummingbirds are are bunked up for the night, so it ain't gonna matter. All right, so for the rest of this, I just pour it in one of these mason jars. All right, and I throw that in the fridge, in the garage fridge, so no one drinks it. And it's ready to go. When that's low, I just pour this in and it's ready to go. My hummingbird babies are all set. We'll see you at dinner. All right, it's time for dinner. Here's what I'm having tonight. Spring rolls, my favorite. So I've got these Vietnamese brown rice paper spring rolls right here. These wrappers. So I'm gonna use these wrappers right here. And I'll give you the calorie breakdown as I do it, but there's 62 calories for 2 of them, and that's what I'm gonna have. So I have 2 of them. Spring rolls are pretty simple. They can be like intimidating, but they're really simple. You gotta take this spring roll wrapper and it needs to get pliable. So I've got behind me just a little kind of pie plate, big round pie plate filled with water. And that's what I'm using to wet my spring rolls, a pie plate. I can still hear Tim's pager going off. So frustrating. He leaves those things here because his pages go to his phone, and then he's gone all night and things just going off all night. All right, so I leave that there for, I don't know, a minute, and I let that kind of get wet. I got a bunch of different things here. I've got some lettuce. I've got some noodles. I think they're rice noodles. They're from Costco. I've got some shaved carrot, and I've got some cilantro. And that's what I'm going to put in here. All right, so this is still not pliable, so I'm giving it a moment here. You want to take it out while it's still a little stiff. It's going to like start softening up while it's on the board. I'm just going to lay it out on my board right here. Now they're really simple. I'm just going to take my lettuce, and I've already figured out how much lettuce I have here. I've got 85 grams of lettuce here, which is about 15 calories. I mean, there's very little calories in a lettuce right here, right? All right, so I've got my noodles over here, and it's just these noodles from Costco. They're these little bricks of rice noodles here, I believe, right? Are they rice? Yeah, rice noodles. And a whole brick is 120 calories, so I'm just using half of the brick on two of my spring rolls. So I'm not going to eat the whole thing myself. I'll save the other half for Tim. So I'll wind up with 60 calories for the 2 spring rolls with this with these noodles. Oops, there we go. All right, I got that going, and then I've got some shaved carrots here. I mean, there's so little. There's hardly any calories at all here, so I'm just not even counting them. And then I've got a little bit of cilantro I'm just going to put on here, and that's it. So these look kind of big. I'm going to roll this up here, and as I'm rolling, I'm tucking them in. Grab the end and just kind of folded it in here. I'm going to roll and fold the end in here, and I'm just going to keep rolling until it's all rolled up. It's not pretty, but it will eventually come together. Just like that. And there you go. Perfect. So the 2 spring rolls will give me about 200 calories with the noodles and the wrapper and all the fillings. And then the other 200 calories is going to come from my dressing that I made, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. And then you can see here I've got my 2 spring rolls. I've got my peanut dressing that I make out of PB2 powder. And I have a recipe right here for that, or there's a video right here where I make that. It's also on www.plantbasedfads.net. The entire recipe's there. Again, you can go to that and bring it up, do file print on your browser, and print it. This dressing is about 200 calories. So this is my dinner. I'm going to dig into this. All right, look how good that looks. Oh, man, I can't wait to dig into this. You can see all those veggies. You can see the noodles, the dressing. Let's do it. All right, you can see how big those rolls are. Holy smoke, they look big. You know, this is the third of 3 big meals that I've had today. So I am like full of food today, but I just wanted to show you like what your options are for, you know, getting in 400 calories a meal. So I'm just going to taste this. I'm going to dip it right in here. And let's give this a shot. Oh, man. So good. Oh, yeah. That peanut sauce does it. That's what makes the whole dish. Without it, it's just a rolled up like bunch of raw stuff, right? But with the peanut sauce, now you got something different. Sometimes you have to just grab a spoon and spoon the sauce on there, or like right into the top here, and then just go for it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. So good, guys. All right, so I showed you 3 meals that are full of food for 1,200 calories for the whole day. To all those people out there who after last week's video said, that's not sustainable, you're gonna be doing a calorie deficit, you'll be starving to death. I can tell you, I'm not starving. There's a ton of food. You just have to use the calorie density chart to make sure that you're getting as much food for calories as you can by stuffing all of these meals with the non-starches. That's what is the filler and fills you up with your starches. All right, I'm showing you how to do it. You can do this. You can eat within your calorie range. You don't need to starve yourself, but know what you're taking in so you know and know what you're burning. Otherwise, you're not going to lose weight. You have to have a calorie deficit. And these 3 meals will give me a calorie deficit. That's our video for today. Hit that like button, show us some love. Don't forget to subscribe and click on that bell, that pager. And you'll get notified every time we have a new video, usually every Tuesday. And leave a comment below. Does this give you any ideas? Does it look like I'm like starving myself with these meals? Like, what do you think? That's 1,200 calories. That's what it looks like. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.